Welcome to Survivor NSFW. Jonny Fairplay. Holy shit, I'm looking at my MacBook Pro screen and the fanboy Survivor fan that I am. You know, I was a fan since day one, and I fell in love with the show watching the man I'm looking at right now, Mr. Richard Hatch, who got fucked by not being on this season Winners at War. Richard, for my podcast with Jonny Fairplay, this is a bucket list event. It's an honor to have you on our show.
Hey, Matt. Appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
Listen, I usually love getting fucked. This ain't one of those times.
No.
All right. Speaking of Blue Chew, that's blue like the color blue. Guys, remember the days when you were always ready to go? Well, now you can increase your performance and get that little extra confidence in bed. Listen up. It's bluechew.com. That's blue like color blue. Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so you know they work. You can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. And since they're chewable, they work up to twice as fast as a pill, so you can be ready when an opportunity arises.
Oh, jeez, Johnny. Why don't you just take your clothes off and go on Price is Right? Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Look, Blue Chew probably works really well, but if that stuff doesn't work, hey, I've got an injection. I can get you a fucking rock hard boner for hours. It's awesome.
Richard Hatch, I'm sure you've given lots of hard-ons out, but if you go to the website and use promo code Survivor, you get a super hard dick for free just using promo code Survivor, and they love it when we do that. Blue Chew is prescribed online, shipped straight to your door in a discreet package, no in-person doctor visit, no waiting at the pharmacy, no more awkwardness. They're made in the USA, and they're shipped direct and shipped cheap and are cheaper than the pharmacy. Anyway, bluechew.com, free Blue Chew, free hashtag super hard dicks. Just pay the $5 shipping. That's bluechew.com. Use promo code Survivor. Blue Chew is the better, cheaper, faster choice. And we thank them for sponsoring the podcast. Richard
Dear God, how much can you go on? Look at what are you doing? These two straight guys talking about hard cocks. Really? I mean, what on earth?
You know, I usually have the people that try out the Blue Chew Rich DM their pictures of their super hard dicks to at the Matt Bischoff on Instagram and at Matt Bischoff on Twitter. But since you're here,
does he know what to do with them?
No, dear God, no. So this week, please send your hashtag super hard dick pics to at Hatch Richard on Twitter and at Hatch _Rich, I believe, on Instagram. So
I have so much porn on my Twitter, I may not even notice. My Twitter feed is almost all porn.
It sounds like a good follow. I don't know what you're waiting for, guys.
Well, speaking of following, so Richard, obviously you are not on this season. There's a lot of people really bummed about that. Johnny and I have talked about this. How do you not have the very first winner of Survivor on this season? Huge slap in the face. You posted something on your new YouTube channel, which I want people to know, where can they find? You've been doing a lot of videos. You've done videos about,
Aqua dumps.
You've done videos about Jonny Fairplay, and I think this is going to be a recurring thing of you talking this season about all things Survivor. Where can people find your YouTube channel, Richard?
I don't know, but taking dumps and Jonny Fairplay, I could have gone a number of directions.
the floor's open.
I won't bring it up, buddy. I already did. So they can find my YouTube on Rich Hatch at YouTube, Rich Hatch. Go to the YouTube. That's my new YouTube channel, and you name it. I'm just answering a lot of what people are asking, which you're right. I was fucked. This is so stupid. They invited me on the goddamn show. You know damn well I should have been on the season 40 show. Everybody knows I should be on there. It's not really an all winners thing if you don't take the original innovator and see what he could do now. It's kind of phony and fake because of Jeff Probst's ego, period.
Is there another season that you think you could excel at, though? I know you have a little bit of camouflage and protection during doing an all winner season, but what other theme could you possibly benefit from?
God,
just straight up legends, or do you think that being a winner, even on a legends, would work against you?
I think so. If there were legends that weren't winners, they would use it or try to use it. And people playing stupidly. If there are lots of smart players, then it's not about me needing kind of cover. It's about knowing that they would make good decisions to keep me around for a while. And obviously we'll all be cutthroat at some point. But even in All-Stars, they just weren't bright enough. They just didn't understand the game. They weren't bright enough players. I said to Kathy and Colby, listen to me carefully. This isn't, some kind of snow job. If you vote me out now, you're next. Yeah. Who goes next? Kathy and Colby, right after I went out. It's just, there are truths in the game. There are just obvious things that you can show. And I didn't think of dead grandma, so I didn't have a way out.
So here's the deal. Like, obviously leading up to this season, you're bummed, pissed, whatever your emotions are that you're not on the season. Okay.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But now that you're watching the season, are you kind of like watching it like, wow, if I was there, I'd be doing this, or these people are stupid? Like tonight we see, in my opinion, players doing asinine gameplay. Ben needs to shut his fucking mouth. Danny Boatwright.
Oh, but it's a cute mouth. Holy crap. That dude is sexy as hell. I can hardly keep my eyes off of him. I don't even know what he's saying. Those abs, holy crap. He looks delicious.
Wow. This is
so far though, like what we've seen, besides you getting horny, Richard.
Does anything else matter?
No, it doesn't. I mean, we learned this week on our Q&A podcast that Johnny's fucked over 1,000 chicks. Which, do you believe that, Richard?
That's a large number, and I haven't seen Johnny's penis, so I'm not sure.
I was pretty prolific back in the day. So.
Well, we'll see. But so, what are you thinking? Just so far, we're episode 2. 3 people have now gone to the edge of extinction. This has been very hyped up as this is going to be the greatest season of Survivor ever. Is it living up to the hype so far to you, Richard?
Well, it can't be the greatest season ever if I'm not in it. Truly, right. They have the original innovator. They know I created a template that is used 40 seasons later still, and they're not having me there to see what unfolds. That said, there's a lot of crap that happens early on in any season, never mind just winners, to flush out kind of the driftwood or the deadwood. And people might say, oh, well, they're all winners, though. There isn't any deadwood. Well, there's still deadwood. There's still Danny tonight. She really was uncalculated in her kind of saying all kinds of things. And it wasn't just tonight. Since she got there, she was a little bit of a loose cannon. And it's very easy for those people around her to just watch, not say anything, and go along to get rid of her. I would look at it and go, well, you could still use this opportunity to really shock the shit out of people and get rid of Rob or somebody is a calculated player that's going to be a problem for you if you're not in alliance with them. But it's looking more and more like Parvati's in a solid alliance with that dude, and Ethan looks like he's kind of connected to those two. So there may be some real, relatively solid, for as much as they can be in the beginning of the game, alliances that are preventing people from going after those really, really tough players. Natalie and Amber, they're gone. And when you have somebody bringing up somebody to go along with it in the beginning when there's lots of mush. There's lots of mush and lots of people and lots of drama. And then there's Ben.
I think Danny came across as kind of a weirdo on tonight's episode.
Yeah, I thought she came across. Yeah, but we know her. Yeah, you know her. Yeah, she's not a weirdo.
Yeah, but she came across as a weirdo, and if you're well, I don't necessarily say. I mean,
she made bad choices. But
they didn't CGI her. Okay, like what they showed, she did. But
she did, and I always say that.
I thought she I think she was out of her skin out there. I think
so too.
I think she came across as a weirdo. She may not be in real life, but real life and Survivor are two different things.
Completely two different things. I agree with you. And I know her and I like her and she's not a weirdo in real life, but she did a lot of really stupid things. And they saw that and talked about it.
I didn't think it was that like I'm watching her. Yeah. So no, I mean, I do blame Boston Rob, Parvati, and Ethan for having the conversation, an all old school conversation minus her. Like, why not?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, dude, we don't know what was going on out there.
She was sitting down the beach going, "Hey, why are you fucking talking to me?"
That could have been at any time. I mean, if it's an old school versus new school thing, I don't know why she is so paranoid. I mean, she tonight deserved to go out, in my opinion, because she completely, obviously, has not learned from the new school players. When you go up to Ethan and Ben, and Danny is literally just kind of explaining what's going on, saying old school, new school, right in front of Ben, and Ethan's kind of naive because he's like, well, he at least knows like this is a stupid move.
But you don't. But it's an equally stupid move is saying this guy's new school. Like basically admitting that she's admitting the plan. Like it's a little. I mean, Ethan, I love you. Rich loves you. Matt, maybe not so much. But geez, Louise, I understand that the pace of the game is so much faster, and the sense of loyalty is a far removed concept in the game of Survivor 2020. But at the same time, I think someone like Ethan, and instead of his head spinning and saying the wrong things and all that, how about just a serious conversation going, an easy way to win Survivor? Just fucking be loyal, you dumb motherfuckers. It's very simple.
Yeah, it is for a little while. It is very simple, and that's one thing that a lot of players don't get, and that separates the wheat from the chaff. A lot of players still don't get that it needs to be relatively simple for a while, or can be. Yeah. But right now, they're all spun. Yeah, and Danny made stupid decisions, and Ethan, that was a dumb thing to have said it right in front of Ben, but he didn't know what else to do. And in
it was good TV. I give you that. Thank you. Yeah.
But I'm gonna spin this for a minute for all of you, because I just posted an interview with Jeff Probst, Mark Burnett, and me from the Paley Center. It's on my YouTube channel. And in that interview, it's as clear as day. Burnett's talking about if you act a particular way, or hey, he was talking about Greg Buis, whom I adore, the bright guy from the first season with had a coconut phone.
Absolutely.
They hated his guts because he always fucked with them. Jeff Probst despised the guy. Yeah. And Mark Burnett was saying how producers had to go to him and say, hey, tone it down because I have the edit button. I can make you look however I want to make you look. Can you imagine what you're going to look like if you don't tone it down? And then said something about it. And Greg's a smart guy, so he toned it down. The point of the clip is that's just true. They take bits and pieces, and you're right, it's actual. Every single thing you've seen me do out there is me doing it. But they play it, and they post it to make things a little more hyped, a little more salacious, a little more whatever way they want it to look. And so even as I'm watching this season 40 now, and I know that many of the choices that Danny made, for example, were stupid, I don't know why others made the choices they did instead of just letting a stupid player be stupid and taking out a more dangerous one. Because that's what I would be doing with you. I'd be talking to you about who's most dangerous, who down the road. Let's kind of forget all this mush that they're all in now. And I didn't see any of that happening in this season, which I hoped to have seen.
Yeah, I was talking with another winner earlier today, potentially that played tonight, right? Mm-hmm. And I asked a hypothetical question, but in addition, wanted that person's answer. And I go, if you put 100 survivors in a room, I was like, you know what? Scratch that. If you put 200 survivors in a room and ask them to list the top 2 most dangerous players in the history of the game, if it's not unanimous with 200 fucking survivors writing down Boston Rob and Parvati, then you're wrong. 200 straight would write those two names.
Bullshit. What about me?
You're in the top 5, Hatch. It's been a while. It's been a while.
That's the bullshit. It's been a while. Like, are my brains dead? Well, I played the original season the way it was played.
Boston Rob has played.
All right, go ahead. Make your point.
Boston Rob has played 18 times.
Yeah, and what other fucking survivor could play that many times and win 16 of the 18? How many did it take him to win, for Christ's sake? He's fucking.
I heard he won 22.
Probst loves him, and that's why
he's amazing. He's so amazing.
Oh my god!
You like the new shirt available at JonnyFairplay.com? I hate Boston Rob. Anyway, so no, but I would think if you were to survey 200 survivors, 1 and 2 most dangerous, Boston Rob and Parvati, how are they not the fucking conversation of how about we send home one of the 2 most dangerous players to ever play?
I'm saying it has to be editing. I'm saying those conversations are there. How could they not be having those conversations?
Because they appear to be starstruck. I mean, like, people are giving Parvati credit.
Stupid for me to believe, but it could be true.
I think it could be true because you go to these charity events, right? And you have guys like Adam Klein or these newer, younger players that are fans of the show, and they meet a Richard Hatch or Jonny Fairplay, and they're like, "Oh my god!" Even like Johnny, like when Wendell, for example, when we first met him, he's like, "Oh my god!" Like they are almost, starstruck. So I think
they're
perfectly
fans. They're fans of the show. I wish I had been a fan of the show when I met you. Like, Can you
believe we're still talking about this goddamn shit?
No, I mean, like, I just happen to be old enough to be, compatriots with these people that, that frame the game, that, were, the Mount Rushmores of Survivor, and it's awesome. But no, the kids playing today, and not even kids, they're fucking adults at this point. They're just like, I loved you when I was a kid. I'm like, motherfucker, stop it. But Boston Rob, he's on that Mount Rushmore. If you think there's a Mount Rushmore that does not include Boston Rob, you're insane. It also includes Richard Hatch. I mean, let's be honest.
I agree with that. But he's there, and one thing he made
he has a statue.
Yeah, that's pathetic.
He has a real fucking statue.
That was awful. That was so distracting from the game. It was so unnecessary. Another silly.
But the beautiful thing about it, as much as I hate it and everything, for that to culminate in the pregame interviews with the cast of season 40. And they're doing their pregame interviews, and looking across the water, framed up opposite them is Rob's fucking statue. Yeah. Go fuck yourself. Like I'm just like, do you think you're doing this guy any favors? Because you're not. I'm loving the fact that you're not, but you're not. Like, no, if I'm one of 18 other people seeing this fucking asshole statue, I'm like, oh, did I need a reminder on who I'm going after?
Let me ask you guys
one for 4 days.
You guys,
and Sandra, who won twice. Anyway,
yeah. So you guys are both legends of the game. It's obvious. If you guys were out there on like a season 39 and there was a statue of you guys, would you guys feel like, oh my god, this is fucking cheesy? I'm embarrassed. I would
burn it down.
Or would you own it up like, wow, I am a legend? Like, what do you think you guys were? So, Johnny, you would burn it down.
I would accept the fact. It was just like, wow, I'm a legend. This is crazy. Awesome. Now, please burn it down before people make fun of me. I'm going to post a picture on my Instagram, but like, if they look for it, it's gone.
I wouldn't give 2 shits if they made fun of me, but I would have been batshit nuts with production ahead of time, talking about how a Legends season, an Idol season could have been more interesting, could have been more about the players and our contributing to their gameplay than that crap. I thought it was badly done. I thought it wasted our time as viewers. And, fuck the Idol there. I don't care what they want to do with that. They can make me, a big head on the beach or whatever. And but I would have talked to them till they were blue in the face about how to have done it better, but they don't care.
No.
They've got egos. They've got egos bigger than those idols, and they don't give a shit about input from the people who do know the game. You think Jeff Probst knows the game? I'm sorry, I disagree with you. He's never played it. He stood there and he watched, and he's the worst because he thinks he knows it better than anyone because he's been the host for so long. He's awesome as a host, but he doesn't have that insight that you only get from knowing how to play it well when you're in it.
Yeah, so you're basically saying, yeah, I agree. He is an amazing host.
Yeah.
I can't think of Survivor without Jeff Probst. His live commentary during challenges, what he does at Tribal Council is brilliant, okay? But what you're saying is like find the true creative brains to choose what goes on as far as a theme or the
Set
gameplay.
your ego aside. Listen to people. Bring people in. Who do you think we are? They treat us like fucking dirt. They couldn't give a shit about the people who played the show and how they manipulate us as pawns. And in doing that, they lose all of what they could gain from being, as Mark Burnett promised me that night on the beach, we're family forever, Hatch. Fuck you.
So
It's
when's
all
the last,
nonsense.
when's the last time you spoke to like Jeff Probst or Mark Burnett?
Years. Rudy was dying. His family called me and said he has a week to live. I reached out to Probst and Burnett, and they didn't call me back. And instead, the fucking pricks, Probst calls other survivors and asks for Rudy's number. They never were in touch with Rudy. They're not friends with him. They didn't have his number. Probst never called me, and Rudy died a week later, just like the doctor said.
Fuck.
It's fucked. It's just fucked. That's real life. That's the stuff behind the scenes. I don't want to take away from the show. We all love the show. The game is great.
No, but
the truth is,
and that's why we do this podcast, because we're not sugarcoating and trying to get on the side of CBS. We're talking about real shit, real emotions, and what we think.
I think CBS is doing a good job with this season.
Oh, I do.
I don't.
Well,
I don't. Better than last season. How could you do any worse?
No, it was horrible.
I think it's off to a great start. I mean,
I'm not there. That's not my ego. Honest to God.
I understand.
I'm just pointing out how fucking stupid that is. The original innovator is not part of an all-winner season. That's fucking stupid. All right. So set it aside,
it is
and I'll
stupid.
give you. It's going to be interesting because there are lots of winners. That's great. But it's not what they could have done, and they are idiots for not doing it better.
Have you noticed, Hatch, that they've targeted a winner every tribal council so far?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have you seen the ratings? The ratings are lower than the last few years.
TV as a whole is down. They're doing great.
Okay,
they're winning. If they're not winning Wednesday night, they're right behind the Masked Singer, and the Masked Singer has one more season before it peters out. Come on.
Well, here's
they're
the
fine. They're on year 20.
I'm not saying that it's not.
And it's still
worth,
cheap as fuck to make.
It's worth
God bless
making.
them.
It's worth making. But if you love the show could be better. And I fault them for not making it the best show they could. That's all.
Are you liking Fire Tokens?
I love any twist. Okay. I love seeing what it is.
I don't love any twist, but
I do. I love a twist for to see where it goes.
Sure.
For example, I don't know what Fire Tokens are going to be. Is it stupid that you're buying these immunity things where maybe you can just automatically win if you have 5 Fire Tokens at any one point? You don't know. And so you should be a little more thoughtful about the choices you're making. Everybody's getting, hey, you can buy this. Oh, I'm going to do that immediately. Oh, you can do it. Okay, yes, let's do it. Maybe I'd make those decisions too, but I'd be thoughtful about it. And I'd be talking about what I might be giving up that I don't know yet, because I don't know how Fire Tokens are going to play out.
So I think an advantage in the game is the best thing that you can buy at any stage of the game. So
yeah, but there are different kinds of advantages of the game.
I think walking out of tribal council is a pretty fucking cool advantage.
I think it is too. But what if with 3 Fire Tokens that you're never going to accumulate, if you keep buying the 111s, you can decide who goes home by yourself. Who knows what they're going to do? I'm just saying we don't know. Do
you want an advantage that strong that one person could send home one person?
I don't want it to be in the game, but I don't know what the hell they're going to do. They've done all kinds of things that I wouldn't want.
That would be the worst thing ever, is for one. I mean, because like the wrong person gets that power, and you're destroying the show. I mean, God, I can only imagine.
So you guys, tonight we see the show starts out, Rob gets a fire token and he starts thinking, is this from Amber? Is this from somebody else? And he makes a statement like, man, it was really hard for myself and Amber to leave our kids to come out and play that game. That would be like, if I were to play again, leaving my kids and my family is number one. That sucks when there's kids involved, right? Do you guys think that there was any kind of pre-made deal with FaceTiming the kids or seeing the kids or the kids at Ponderosa, etc.?
You never know. I don't know.
You don't think so, Johnny?
No way. They're doing Edge of Extinction. That's some fucking. They're not bringing fucking FaceTime to Edge of Extinction. Edge of Extinction sucks.
But I'm saying if she taps out, if she's like, I'm over.
Well, she taps out. I mean, they could potentially.
I think your question's legitimate, Matt, and I think you should ask yourself those kinds of things about everything, because at this stage, particularly with that many winners, you never know what each of them negotiated.
They didn't offer. I mean, I've talked to plenty of winners. They didn't offer shit. I mean, they offered them a chance to play Survivor with a bottom low of 35,000 total. That's it. That's all they offered them.
That you didn't talk to every single one of them, and you don't.
I've talked to the majority.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of them too. I've met many of them, but but it's not out of the realm for me watching what they've done that they could make different deals with different people. So I don't know that they'll be showing the kids or whatever else, but there's, I mean, to the players, but who knows what might have contributed? Are you asking because you think it would affect the game?
Yeah.
I don't think they do anything that would affect the game, but go ahead.
If you were asked and continue to have been asked for 40, would you have made any demands or would you have just said yes? Because everyone I talked to just said yes. So like 35,000 base, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
Okay. I mean, it's a smart answer. I mean, like, you know, people have asked me, you know, like what would your demands be? And I'm just like, I mean, probably my demands are nothing, but that's a stupid thing to say. So I was like, no, I need 500,000 up front, massages every other day, like, you know, just basic stuff.
Yeah.
I would think the demand would be for me to come out to Ponderosa to hang out and party with you, Fairplay.
Yeah. I mean, that's all I need. Yeah. No.
So I honestly think that tonight when we finally see, you know, we're skipping around here, but we finally see like when Rob does realize that Amber was voted out, he doesn't show emotion and cry and freak out. He's strong about it. He's like kind of like, I forget what he said, but he's like, you know, it is what it is. It's a game. I think that was smart play. I'm impressed right now, even though Fairplay has the I heart Rob with it crossed out that you can get a shirt and all shirts at JonnyFairplay.com. And you do get a call from himself, Jonny Fairplay, which is true. And I see people online saying Jonny Fairplay actually fucking called me. So
I do. Like, why would I make that up?
And I got a shirt right now. I got to move my beard out of the way. So
people write to me and say, I'll buy a shirt if Johnny doesn't call me.
Yeah, right. But so, I mean, are you guys, as much as we kind of joke around Fairplay, are you surprised of how Rob is doing in the game so far?
So I disagree with your setup there a little bit. I think the editing showed that hard, kind of clearly affected face and the squinty eyes of Rob. And unless the editing was dragging it out, he took a long time, as slowly to answer the question, as opposed to just answering as if he were the way you said it with his tone of like, oh, it's the game. It wasn't, oh, it's the game. It's the game. You know, he was really, I think he's affected by it a little bit, but that's also partly because I know him personally too. You do too. I mean, his personality is a little that way, like Sandra's. There is a little reactivity to him. And I think you're right. He did a great job of not showing too much of it. But if I were standing there, I knew damn well that he was not happy. And I know he was looking over there, glaring at Sandra, wondering what she had to do with it. beamed. Smile,
oh yeah.
beamed.
Oh, I liked it. So,
Yeah.
Like if I have to choose between Team Sandra and Team Boston Rob, I'm Team Sandra. I mean, like know the enemy you know.
It's true.
But
come on, tell me you can't. You tell me you'd be out there and thinking of anything besides what Ben looks like naked, though.
No, well, I mean, you know what, Richard Hatch? Only and if only he's Manscaped. And if you're listening to the podcast right now, I want you to take a second and look down. When was the last time you shaved your junk? It's been a while. Don't lie. Let's take a second to thank our sponsor, Manscaped, for holding you accountable to get rid of the funk and shave your junk.
You must be talking to straight people, because what do you mean it's been a while? Who doesn't take care of that regularly?
Yeah, straight white guys, they don't do that. If they have a beard, they got.
Trust me. Yeah. I am not a fan of. I might have like the longest beard that you probably ever seen, Richard, but I am not a fan of body hair from the neck down.
Yeah, if you want head, you don't want funk,
right?
That's right. So Manscaped is the only men's brand dedicated to below the waist grooming and hygiene. So I tell you don't want. Here's the thing that I get disgusted about. When I go to a urinal and take a piss and I see a fucking beard or like a pubic hair as long as my beard sitting on the urinal, I'm like, who in the hell was in this place before me? We are not in a society now in my world to have 6-inch long pubic hair. All right. So when here's a little funny peek behind the curtain, Fairplay. Sometimes I would, like, as a joke, pull a big beard hair out, set it on the toilet seat, so the next person will be like, what in the fuck is that? Anyways, Manscaped is changing the game with the Perfect Package 3.0 Essentials Kit, Johnny. It comes with a new and improved Lawnmower 3.0. It's waterproof, cordless body trimmer, and a ton of other liquid formulations to round out your manscaping routine. And this third-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to prevent manscaping accidents like fucking up your balls. Millions of balls are about to be nick-free thanks to Manscaped's advanced skin-safe technology. And, of course, I know Richard Hatch would love the ball crop preserver, Jonny Fairplay, because sometimes balls get stinky. You're sitting in a chair, your nutsack is like fucking sweaty, stuck to your inner thigh, and you need a little bit of crop preserver. So right now, Jonny Fairplay, for a limited time, tell our listeners what they can get. Jonny Fairplay is actually muted.
There you go. Right now, not only do subscribers get not one, but 2 free gifts. They get the Shed Travel Bag, a $39 value added, and the patented high-tech anti-chafing Manscaped Boxer Briefs. All of those with 20% off and free shipping when you go to manscaped.com. That's manscaped.com. Use promo code SURVIVOR and get yourself a Shed Travel Bag, the anti-chafing Manscaped Boxer Briefs, 20% off and free shipping. Now's the time. Do yourself a favor and always use the right tools for the job.
Yeah, if you're not 20 years old and so damn delicious, I can't even describe it, then go ahead and get something and take care of that shit.
Yeah. Right on. So,
but in the meantime, hairy or not, go to my YouTube, Rich Hatch YouTube. Check out all of my videos.
Yeah,
definitely. Anybody listening, if you're a Survivor fan,
Richard Hatch went this week from 0 to 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. Let's get that to 10,000 so this motherfucker can make some money.
Is there money behind it?
Yeah, there's money. Go click the subscribe button, people, and subscribe to the Richard Hatch on YouTube.
But it's free. It won't cost you anything.
It's free. Absolutely free.
So, you guys, what do we think when we see Ben, the finder of idols? He's known for that, and Denise walking through the jungle. Do you think really that he needs to give advice on how to find idols? It's kind of obvious what you look for when trying to find an idol, but they're playing up.
Denise hasn't played with idols. Or if she has,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the later.
It's not like calculus. If you haven't taken calculus, you need a course.
Well,
Right.
but
Idol.
if you're playing with a guy, Richard, that's found 18 idols in one season, that's a pretty good guy to walk with for a tip or two.
Yeah, sure, but you think you need a tip? If you're a decent player, you should be able to find some idols.
I understand
And
you should
if you
look,
watch
but
the show,
a
if
lot
you
of
watch
people
it,
don't look.
Yeah.
how do you not look? The first thing I did when I made sure when, and I know Jonny Fairplay, you always bring yourself back to Pearl Islands. I'm going to bring back to Caramoan for a minute. When I jumped off that boat, I made sure I was the first person up to our tribe flag and everything going on. I was immediately scanning, like there could be an idol, a clue, anything right here in plain daylight. And these dum-dums are like, oh, wow, we're in the Philippines. Cool. I'm like, I'm looking for shit.
How about Tony tonight? I'm not moving. Meanwhile, he's practically coming out of his skin. He's so freaking ready to bop.
Yeah.
I'm being calm. I'm being calm this season. I don't want to be. I don't want them to think I'm not calm. God.
Do you find him likable, Hatch, or no?
Well, it's not about likable. It's about the game, and I just think he's too frenetic. I think it's a natural tendency, and I think cops are us shit.
I don't even care about the game with him. I just think he's good television. So
And
keep him on for as long as possible. Just
yeah. I don't care about good television. I care about Survivor.
I care about good TV. So
yeah.
I thought he was fun tonight. I thought the ladder was hilarious.
Oh,
So
I did too. I did too.
But I do have it on good. I have it on good authority. Wendell says the ladder is 20 feet tall and 150 pounds. I have it on good authority. I talked to Angelina this evening, and that ladder is actually nothing short of 40 feet and well over 300 pounds. So thank you, Angelina, for phoning in to correct course and let us know.
It didn't look that long.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know if you're familiar with Angelina's concept of ladders, but she is quite the mother goose.
Well, I'd like her to describe my cock then.
After you manscape it, you get a couple extra inches there, Hatch. It's good.
Let's just say I own that damn thing, and that's all I'll say.
There you go. Tremendous.
So what do you think, Richard? What do you think about Edge of Extinction? Last season, I hated it. This season, don't mind it as much, but we see the Edge of Extinction, and I think that Amber kind of doesn't really have a clue what's going on. They're reading this basic riddle that tells plain as day. They kind of highlight that says water well. She doesn't know what's going on. Natalie's pretty damn smart, and she ends up finding this thing in the well, and it's actually pretty cool. She gives it to Jeremy and sells it for a fire token or whatnot. And it's something where you can leave tribal council. So you cannot get voted out. However, you're not witnessing what's going on at tribal and you cannot cast a vote. But to me, hell, who gives a shit, dude? You're safe in a Winners at War season. You don't have to be at tribal. That is fucking awesome. You know what I mean? So what are you thinking about Edge of Extinction? They're not going to do it, apparently, according to Probst, for a very long time after this season. But are you enjoying it this season?
I'm enjoying it because these are all winners. And if you weren't put on Edge of Extinction, just kind of random things do happen that you aren't in control of. And some folks that you would want to see play could end up out of the game without the Edge of Extinction. So it's fun. And it's an interesting little twist, and it adds to the strategy that you have to think about. Listen, guys, I'm being pulled. So if there's anything else you want to talk about, I got about 2 more minutes. I got somebody pulling I have so much more filming to do for my YouTube channel that you all are going to go to and subscribe.
We're going to go subscribe. Just real quick. Do you feel that the Danny vote off at the end was the best play?
I don't know about best play, but certainly she was deserving. I probably would have left her there because I didn't see her as a threat. Her danger is in her unreliability, but there are many other people who are more dangerous and about whom I'd have many, many fewer opportunities later. So I would have I like those kinds of things when they're exposed. I like how Danny was clearly not kind of playing strategically well. And I would have loved to kind of just, pocket that data and move on a little bit. Now she's gone. So I get the move and I get why other people went along with it. That's great. I don't know if it's the best move.
Don't you like an easy move though? So early in the game.
But liking an easy move doesn't make it the best move.
But at the same time, an easy move is an easy move.
I agree. But does it bite you in the ass when you didn't make the move that this asshole now is taking you out later?
Week 2 is a excellent time to get rid of Parvati. However, Danny's so much easier and
Parvati, and why not Rob? You like TV. You're like, oh, he's good TV. But why not Rob?
I've never said Rob was good TV.
No, but
He is though.
But you, just like the people on the show tonight, kept talking about Parvati. Nobody was talking, at least in that edit, about Rob.
I get rid of Rob next. I get rid of Parvati.
Why not before Parvati?
Either way, I don't have a problem with going after Rob before Parvati.
I get it, you don't have a problem, but nobody's talking about it. That's weird.
I would be talking about, but if I were out there, I'd be talking about both. I wouldn't be talking about just one of them. I would be like, okay, which one? Rob or Parvati? Let's pick.
Are we going to do this show naked next time?
We should, yes.
Well, I will be manscaping first, but yeah, absolutely, Hatch. That's the only way to do it.
Hatch, dude, thank you for coming on our show. It's been awesome, and Russell Hance has been commenting on this shit. He wants you to come on his show. So we're just one big happy Survivor family. One last question: do you have a pick right now at all, Rich?
I never make picks like that, particularly this early. I don't even start thinking about who I think's going to win until the merge. It's insane for people to be saying, yeah, I think this one's going to win or that one's going to win. We don't even know what fire tokens do. That's stupid.
Yep.
My money's on Fabio.
Yeah, might as well. That's as good as anybody else's pick at this point.
There we go. Fabio for the win. My under is Chris Underwood. So we'll see.
Peace, boys.
Peace, man. Thank you. Take it easy.
See ya.
So Jonny Fairplay, we see Tony building this fucking ladder, okay? And I thought this whole scene was absolutely hilarious. Let me see if I can. I just removed it. So Tony builds this ladder. It looks shady as hell. And I always thought that Tony was like a bigger dude, but you're saying he's kind of a small, like, $125 guy, right?
I talked to Tony the week of the premiere, a couple days before the premiere. Yeah. I had my second conversation ever with him. My first conversation was after a Eagles game. He was with Coach and somebody else, and I got the random call.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. I love Tony. I mean, like that's as I said, I think he has no shot of winning, which sucks because he should have a shot of winning, but he has zero chance of winning. But I don't care. Just keep that dude on TV the entire season for me. Like, I mean, it doesn't even matter. Like even if they're just like, Tony, you weren't even really playing for you weren't in the run. We weren't even gonna let you, have a chance. And it's like, oh, cool, but I can stay here the whole time. I'm cool with that. Just pay the man. He's amazing. And the ladder, I thought he was going to kill himself.
I thought he was going to kill himself too. And I was dying laughing at Tyson's confessionals about, I know we signed a contract on here, but I don't know if there's a ladder. He was saying so many funny things. Tyson is absolutely hilarious. But dude, Tony is like a damn cartoon character. He literally is like an animated cartoon character. And I thought he was going to eat shit, but honestly, the ladder worked, and everyone thought it was hilarious. And everyone's like heave-hoeing the ladder down the trail.
It's never a good sign, Matt, when the rung breaks on your first step. That is typically a bad sign for a ladder. However,
oh, dude, that's so funny. That's so funny. That's funny. We see. So he climbs up and gets the fruit, and everyone's loving it. His cast, he is someone that is so fun to have around camp in this crazy game.
I mean, maybe maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he has a chance to win. I just don't think he does. As I said, I just don't even think of him as a player. But we did have a scene, with him and Officer Sarah, and lo and behold, Cops R Us is back. And this time he promises not to vote her out the next vote after the alliance is made.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. So, we'll see how that plays, man, dude. Sarah Lucina is a badass. I'm glad that a lot of these players I love, dude, they're still in the game. And it's just like, wow, never would I have thought going into the season, we thought, oh, God, is Nick Wilson going to go out? Is it going to be Sandra Boston Rob first? It's like, wow, it's pretty awesome how this season is playing out. So we go to the challenge. It's immunity and reward. And Jeff,
real quick, the fire tokens in the immunity idol.
Yeah.
Allegedly, Nick tried removing them, and they were not deemed usable.
Okay, right on. So they're okay. That
because people have been commenting about that.
Okay,
so that's that rumor and innuendo.
Yeah,
let's give it to everybody. Nick Wilson be like, I'm gonna need to cash in them 5 tokens, in, Jeff.
You need a T-shirt that just says rumor and innuendo. That's it. That's all it says. So
I may have hijacked that. I did hijack. I have another line that I heard earlier this week that I wanted to use. If you were to ask throughout the podcast at any point, is Rob around? My reply would be, yeah, he's big around.
Oh God, fuck Fairplay. So Probst at the challenge, Jeff asked Boston Rob about Amber. And this is where I said before when we were talking to Richard, he plays it off pretty well. Maybe it's the edit, whatever, but he doesn't show any freaking weakness. He doesn't want, to act like a crybaby. It is what it is. And they move on, but I imagine that's got to suck seeing your wife go.
The big takeaway from that was he just wanted to throw those words out there and gauge the reaction from the Red Tribe to see who's responsible. And that smile across Sandra Diaz-Twine's face, I think spoke volumes. But I don't blame her for being mad. I don't blame her for bragging about the fact that she sent his fucking wife home.
Yeah.
I don't blame her for anything. I blame Boston Rob for not telling her. What benefit was there whatsoever of not telling her he was going out there?
None.
What does he gain?
I have no idea. That's a good question. He does.
Like I understand. Like rumor and innuendo is he's just like, I didn't call anybody. I didn't want to call anybody. That's fine. But if you live with a motherfucker for 39 days,
right? Yeah.
It ain't hurting nothing to tell that person that you're coming and let's do something. Even you can lie. It can be a lie. You can fuck them as soon as you see them.
Yeah, right.
But why wouldn't you say, "Hey, I'm going"?
Yeah, I don't know. It's stupid.
Zero benefit.
Yeah, zero benefit. And I think would Sam? I don't know. Would you believe Rob if he said I'm not going? I would think 100% you're going. You know what I mean?
He allegedly told her that he knew if he went, he would be an early target, and
he didn't want to leave the kids to do it. It's just not a benefit to his legacy. But I don't care how much money you have. If you go and you get 35 grand, if you're voted out first, you have 35 more thousand for your kids' college fund than you did prior, even if you are a millionaire. Why not go?
Yeah, $35,000 is not hurting that man. So no, I get it, but I said I just don't. I see no benefit of him not telling Sandra, and I mean, and it's brought a war into the game that didn't need to be there.
Well, we have a fan that Brandon Burrows right now. Basically, he's claiming he was afraid that Sandra would plot against him behind the scenes. I'm assuming what he's saying is pre-game, if Cassandra's calling everybody, obviously, probably pre-game, finding out who's who and making pre-game alliances. But I still find no
benefit.
No.
I mean, you're living with that person. As I said, you and I could be arch enemies, Matt,
Yeah.
And if we lived together and on day 37, they're like, hey, would you do a winter season? Or would you guys do fans versus favorites all-stars?
Right.
Like, I'd be like, I'm probably going to go. What about you, Matt? Like, yeah,
right.
I'm going to go. I'm definitely going to go. I'm like,
Right.
cool. Well, I'll probably see you there. We should probably work together.
Yeah.
Even if I hated you, like that would be the bare minimum conversation we would have.
Right.
Minimum.
Yeah, minimum.
You know, otherwise it'd be like, hey, you guys want to do fans versus favorites? Fuck yeah, motherfucker. Dude, we're final two. Let's go.
Right.
Like, why is that not the conversation with a motherfucker you're living with?
I know. Yeah, it's fucking insane. This challenge.
Sandra makes a final two deal with him. No problem. Sandra has a final two deal with everyone on this cast. Except for Boston Rob right now.
Yeah. Oh, dude. This challenge, I was actually, you got to retrieve keys on this cart and get these really heavy chests. And people that don't watch the show or that have not played the show, these treasure chests have come into play on Survivor seasons many times. In my season, we had to go to the bottom of the ocean and grab them. They are very, very heavy, like beyond your wildest dreams heavy. Okay, so it's a pretty good challenge, and it's close. You got Tyson and Ben getting the keys.
Yeah, the key, Matt, to any of those, when you have a cart and obstacles, is momentum.
Yeah, right.
You go back, and you just go through with all the momentum that you could possibly bring, and pray you make it through it.
Yeah, you just monster truck.
Like you saw the red tribe just use logic, and that's it. And then the blue tribe got a half-ass start.
Right. And
they caught up pretty quick. I mean, it was, it wasn't game changing, but at the same time, like it was momentum that worked to give them momentum.
And I was shocked. There's a puzzle. It's a really cool dragon style, wooden round puzzle. And it was Sandra and Sophie. They had a big head start on the Call tribe.
If you had a choice of Sophie or Boston Rob to solve your puzzle for you, who would you choose? I kind of felt like Boston Rob was playing chess on with checker pieces.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just like, why? When did this motherfucker become the puzzle master? Because
he's played along.
He's seen enough puzzles that maybe he'll finally figure it out.
So Boston Rob and Denise got destroyed, obviously, and they were spending all this time trying to visualize the puzzle. And
who would you pick on that tribe to do the puzzle? Adam, maybe Adam and Denise.
Yeah, I mean,
because Boston Rob was calling Denise off putting the puzzle together.
Right.
Like he's like, yeah, don't put no pieces. Just do it.
But I mean, Rob is smart. Like I would think that's not like one of these puzzles that's like super impossible. It's like kind of like there's
just put the shit out there.
Yeah, it's like, and you just figure it out. I mean, at our event last week, we did a premiere party in Cincinnati, my hometown. Johnny was very sick. We talked about this on our Q&A. So we do a podcast, you guys, other than our normal Wednesday nights. We do, for our patrons, we do a special podcast where you, the patrons, get to ask us anything you want about the show, about our personal lives, anything. So we had a lot of patrons show up last week. So if you would like to support our podcast, the best way to do that is to become a patron. There's a secret Facebook group. Jonny Fairplay, where can people find out about our Patreon page?
It's you can go directly there to patreon.com/Survivor NSFW, or if you just go to survivornsfw.com, there's links to our audio show, our video show, our Patreon, t-shirts, and live events. And speaking of live events, Matt, I will be in Durham, North Carolina at Dirty Bull Brewing on March 4th.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be joined by Jane Bright from Survivor Nicaragua, Zane Knight from Survivor Philippines, and Elaine from last season, Island of the Idols. I will also have buffs for VIPers. I got season 40 buffs and Season 39, Island of the Idols, the final 5 buff signed by Tommy Sheehan. And then Elaine will be there to sign as well. How cool is that?
That's super cool.
So that's going to be March 4th in Durham, North Carolina at the Dirty Bull Brewing Company. Tickets available at survivortix.com. That's survivortix.com. And then the following week, on my birthday, March 11th, I will be in Long Branch, New Jersey at the Wine Loft, and I will be joined by Michelle Fitzgerald and potentially 3 more winners of Survivor. 3 more. How insane is that? And that's coming up March 11th in Long Branch, New Jersey. Once again, get your tickets at survivortix.com. That's survivortix.com. VIP for both events will sell out. Let's talk at the beginning of the show, Matt, with Denise finding the idol with the help of Ben. And she discovers that she has to give away the other half of this idol to another survivor by sundown. And Ben agrees that it should not be him, possibly bring someone else into the fold, which I get. You know what? I get it. I respect it. And it's, there's not a huge risk reward there in that it's not yours. So, suggest that you bring one person in that's something potentially only 3 people know.
Yeah.
That's a pretty strong way to make an alliance. But the second half of that conversation involves Denise asking Adam, should she give it to Parvati?
That is the dumbest. And I like Denise on a personal level. When I'm watching this with my family tonight, I am like, what in the fuck? Why would she?
Why is that an option?
Why would she mention it? So Adam, props to him. He's like, that's a dumb move.
No.
You need to give it to me.
Yeah, I mean,
which she does.
Adam, that is a great idea by Adam. If I were Adam and Denise were to ask me what I thought she should do with the other half of the idol, I too would suggest that she give it to me. Right. And I would also suggest you should probably give me the other half.
Yeah, right, dude.
I mean, just to prove stuff. Right.
I don't get the fact that she wanted to even put Parvati at all in, as an option.
I didn't get that.
I didn't either.
I feel the Blue Tribe is drinking dumb juice. Like there's a water spigot with a a tap and they're pressing the button on the water fountain and they're like, dumb juice.
I know.
Drink it down, boys and girls. All you can take, please.
Yeah, because the other thing you have in the dumb, we're skipping around, dude. But after the challenge and whatsoever, it's like Danny sees Boston Rob and Parvati and Ethan talking, and
she just sits down by herself. You see those motherfuckers talking, walk up.
Yeah, yep. She feels like she's being on the outs. I'm betrayed, and
potentially Boston Rob, Parvati, and Ethan thought she was taking a dump or possibly doing a confessional.
But why because there is an old.
I'm giving them benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, they appear to be an eye shot of one another.
Yeah.
Fuck, but like, yes, they made a bad mistake, but so did they. Just walk the fuck over. If you think that you're like, if you're in junior high and you see the cool kid sitting at the table and you think that you might be a cool kid, motherfucker, your options are not sit with the cool kids or sit with the cool kids. Well, you sit with the fucking cool kids.
Yeah, so you're Danny and you see Boston Rob, Ethan, and Parvati talking, you walk, instead of like being all insecure, you walk over and say, Hey guys, what's going on? What are you guys thinking? Like, what do you guys? What do you guys want to do? You do not set yourself apart. You automatically go in with confidence and you say, "What are we going to do?" You put yourself in that group, the old school group, and she does not do that. All we see Danny doing is being paranoid, and we see her go to Ben and Ethan. We see Danny, Ben, Ethan talking. Danny's like spilling the beans to Ben, and then Ben's like, You're basically telling me it's old school, new school. Well, fuck, I got this information now. And then Ethan, who's like deer in headlights, God bless him, I love him. He's saying, blatantly obvious, old school, new school, whatever he says. And Danny is like kind of like saying, let's vote out poverty. The dumbest thing ever is increment or how, whatever you say, making yourself, I don't know. She just kind of digging her own grave at this point.
Well,
I was like, what is she doing?
Adam is actually smart enough to realize why not get rid of poverty. He's just like, this is a good move.
Yeah.
So and Jeremy wants to make the move against poverty because he's just like, why don't we make moves? So,
right.
I felt Danny or Parvati were the only two options tonight. I'm glad that they realized that those were the only two options. And despite what Hatch said, yes, I want to send Boston Rob to the edge of extinction as fast as possible. But I feel if I'm out there, I don't know the significance of the edge of extinction yet. Jeremy does, and Jeremy's in a tough spot because if he explains what Edge of Advantage can do and the potential for Amber to arm Boston Rob, he's also blowing the beans on what he has. So, is it smarter not to, so like it's one of those situations where someone else has to talk about the potential of Edge of Extinction, and then you let their imaginations run wild through you supplying details of what their ideas could be. If someone's just like, man, like, what do you think they're doing there? It's just like, do you think it's just like, what? You think it'll unpack things? Like, maybe people giving stuff from there to here, like something like that, maybe.
Right. Yeah, I hear you.
So but I think week 2, Danny was the smart move, despite the fact that the two most dangerous players from beginning to still right now are Boston Rob and Parvati. I think Parvati next vote, or even Boston Rob, either one next vote, definite move if you're out there. If not, you're leave. Tap out.
Are you impressed right now with Boston Rob? We see a tribal council.
No, I thought this was a bad night for Boston. I mean,
but I'm talking about tribal council where he makes everyone the power of him to make everyone pour out their bags. That shows that he has influence.
Like, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, why did you not tell that dude to go fuck himself? Like, if I'm sitting there and Boston Rob's like, empty your bag, I'm like, suck my dick.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, that's kind of what Adam says.
Yeah. Let's see which one happens first.
Yeah. Right.
Like, it's because my bag's still full, but my dick ain't been sucked. So we're kind of at a stalemate. No, fuck, never.
Yeah.
Empty your bag. It's just like, look, motherfucker, just because you don't have it, don't mean that I get to tell you if I do. It's just like you've explained to everyone that you suck and you ain't got nothing. That's great.
Right.
We're done.
Yeah.
No one else wants to have this conversation but you because you ain't got nothing.
Right. Oh yeah. So I was impressed that like, wow, he has the power to make everyone do that. But Adam was questioning it.
Dude, I wish. I mean, they gave Boston Rob a pretty easy tribe for him to fuck with. If they had put that motherfucker on the red tribe, can you imagine Yule emptying out? Yule's like, no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That would be the entire discussion. And everyone look at Yule and be like, oh. And he's like, no, I said no because
they were very strategic.
You suck at Survivor. You're fat. I'm sorry, we're not showing you our shit. Go fuck yourself.
They were very strategic on who they put on the tribes. So all I know is we learned, I learned two things at Tribal. Danny, you're playing very stupid. And Ben, I like Ben.
She honestly played like a weirdo. Yeah, sitting by yours. I mean, like, fucking Survivor's junior high. It's high school. It's the cool kids. It's the not cool kids. It's the people that are almost cool or pretty cool as well. I mean, like, there's the social aspect is kind of simple.
Yeah.
And Danny played the exact opposite in everything that they showed. Yes, I'm sure that she had good moments in those 3 days, but we saw for a fact she had bad moments in those 3 days.
She did, and I learned, I like Ben. I know we always kind of joke around. You're saying oh, Ben military in his past seasons. I like Ben. I think he needs to shut his mouth, dude, because he is just digging his own grave. By
what did he really say? I mean, he called out Boston Rob Harvey.
He did, but then he just he should have just
stopped there. He's just hey, I'm calling you out.
Yeah, he called him out. That's cool, but just then just be quiet, because you find players time and time again who get riled up, and they
Rob was purposely riling. That's all Rob has left. I mean, he had a very bad 3 days. I mean, how hilarious is it that Rob is so, because usually we get the edit of this motherfucker knows everything about everybody and is never out of the loop.
Yeah.
He's the greatest player ever. Mm-hmm. And he starts the episode going, I guess this could be from Sandra.
Yeah.
This fire token. And I'm like, motherfucker, that's just like you're gonna regret you said that, dude. Right. Like you're sitting on your couch watching, going, ooh.
But man,
that wasn't Sandra that said that.
Overall, dude, Danny goes home. She goes to the edge of extinction. What
did you think about Kim finding the other hidden immunity item? Kim playing from the bottle, uncomfortable, unusual for her. Yeah. I think it's going to make her a better player. So I'm actually I have nothing against Kim, not rooting against Kim.
Right.
But I loved her seeing how the other half live on Survivor, because I've been on both sides of the coin.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah.
I think she's never tasted that.
No, she hasn't. And I think she's in a good spot now, really.
But I loved her telling Sophie that, she's just like, hey, you're the only one I trust out here. And Sophie, who I kind of thought would be happy to have a friend, she was like, I'm the last person she should trust. You're the kind of player I'm going to send home.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. I'm like, who? Because honestly, I see the entire cast. I'm just like, oh, look, it's Jeremy and Wendell and Nick and Michelle Fitzgerald. And Sophie. I'm not, there's not.
Yeah. But man, it's been a crazy, I enjoyed tonight's episode. I love podcasting about this because, quite frankly, I take notes the whole fucking time on a damn notebook. And I'm not having to try to figure out who is who. We are seeing gameplay. We know who these players are.
I mean, if this isn't the greatest evidence that every other season should be a returning player season, I don't know what is. Because, I mean, think about it. If you don't know the person until episode 4, if you don't even know their fucking name, yes, you go on the voyage and you get to know them and all that. But you know what's easier and more enjoyable as a fucking viewer? Starting out in episode 1 and knowing motherfuckers' names.
Oh yeah,
I love Star Wars, but you know what was even cooler? The Empire Strikes Back, because I knew what the fuck Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, and Princess Leia were gonna fucking do.
Oh yeah, no, I love a newbie season. But right now, after the fucking debauchery that the last season was,
and once again, you're 4 episodes in before you know a person's name, and then it has the potential to be a shit season. That's horrible.
Yep.
So versus you pick 20 pretty good motherfuckers. In the history of casting a season of Survivor, this is probably the best cast. Is it the best cast possible? I personally think a Legends cast could potentially be better because there's some personalities that are bigger than
Fairplay. You got Coach Wade, Russell No, I hear you. But so far
in the history of Survivor, this is probably the best cast ever.
Yeah, I am stoked. And Jonny Fairplay, before we go, I know that there is an app out there that people can win money if they love shows like the Survivor show that we love. So tell them about what I'm talking about.
Frenemies Challenge is the only way to get rewarded by being able to predict what happens on your favorite reality shows. It's so easy to. I play Frenemies trivia games every morning right before checking Instagram and rolling out of bed. And with a few taps, I'm entered to win prizes up to $2,000. And the awesome thing is, it's totally free to play. When you win, you get the prize instantly. Where has Frenemies been all this time for reality TV? Some of your favorite former contestants, personalities, and influences, like me, Jonny Fairplay, write the trivia questions and play along with you on the Frenemies app. Check in with the Frenemies leaderboard to compare your scores with friends and other fans. A prize pool that is so spread out that lots of people become winners in each contest. Thousands in prizes every day. Finally, an app that rewards your reality TV addiction. There's no other app like this on the planet. None. It's not even close. That's Frenemies, Frenemies challenge. I have the app, and it's great to play along tons of my Instagram followers, other survivors, Matt Bischoff, and more. Download Frenemies in the App Store or on Google Play today and play these trivia games like the reality TV guru that you are. Again, it's Frenemies, Frenemies, in the Apple app and Google Play stores.
Well, right on. Well, thank you, Scuba Steve, and all of our listeners commenting, chiming in. Thank you, Richard Hatch, for joining us tonight. He had to go film some YouTube shit. Russell Hance was in our comment section. Russell's got his own shit going on. If you are new to our podcast, you could go back and see our season 40 cast assessment that we did when Russell was on our show 2 weeks in a row. So, man, what an awesome season so far. Jonny Fairplay, I am loving it. I am so stoked. And I am really happy to be saying this because, man, podcasting about a shit season is not fun. But I am having fun.
It's not.
And if you guys want to see Jonny Fairplay, Jonny, one more time, where are you going to be for the next live event?
March 4th in Durham, North Carolina, Dirty Bull Brewery. March 11th at the Wine Loft in Long Branch, New Jersey. Tickets available for both at SurvivorTix.com. That's SurvivorTix.com. Join me and many, many other castaways. We got Church Boy Keith is going to be there. Jeremiah from Survivor Cagayan. We got Molly from Edge of Extinction joining us. And also Dr. Allison might be there in attendance as well. SurvivorTix.com. That's SurvivorTix.com. Links to everything available at SurvivorNSFW.com. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on iTunes. Become a patron. And you become a secret Facebook Survivor NSFW Patreon group member. It's a fun time. Our favorite podcast of the week. Matt Bischoff, until next time.
Man, this has been amazing. I'm fired up. Thank you, listeners. We'll see you guys next week on another episode of Survivor NSFW. Cheers and good night.